Welcome to another special overtime every time in the sun. Got that red backpack and those red gloves in the back. I had to turn back because on my way I had some food donated and shared with my anonymous friends, some of that 50-50, and I was a bit moody earlier, but I did my laundry, did my cleaning, did of course geopolitics as I do geopolitical theoretical analysis 24/7, and it is a heat wave, another heat wave. Last week we had a heat wave, this week we had a heat wave. I gotta say it's hot. I don't know if it's gonna feel like 44. Last week it felt like 44 at one point. I never heard anything like that, just the last days of spring. Today is of course the last day of June. Canada Day, always got that Canada tatted up, so I don't need to flag it up too much, but I got that Canada tatted on me, so that's how we're gonna get doing on that, and that's how we're gonna get doing on the love, and just gonna put a little bit of that. Gonna get rid of some food here. Actually some garbage more than food, of course, not really food per se, but some of that garbage. So that's how we're gonna click and clack it. We're gonna go around about, and of course we're gonna be meditating for the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the truckers, the firefighters, the plumbers, the electricians, the welders, all those involved in the production, distribution of food, special marching with yours truly, Dragon. Marching dance, a little bit of that rock and roll. Always gotta begin, commence with gratitude. Grateful, thankful, my rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee here from NDGHAWK, Hawk Island, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, North American Civilisation Complex. Always for the 10 provinces, 50 states, 3 territories. This Quebec, a Canadian, was born in the United States 3 times in previous incarnations, past lives twice. And now we're gonna rock and roll it all the way. In the sun, zigzag it a little bit on that zigzag in the sun, and roundabout we go. For the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, the firefighters, the plumbers, the electricians, those who did that good kindness today and yesterday, and we'll do tomorrow for that food security. Super important, the food security, and it starts with the farmers, food producers, and the bakers, the nurses, those civilizational workers. And I got myself some bananas. I didn't check, of course, where they were imported from, but not sure.
Mais maman, c'est pas le bon but, je te dis, j'arrive, putain.
That's what it is with that. That's what it is with that, and we're gonna get it on the go for that. We're gonna get it on the loves on that, and my brothers and sisters here. A little bit of that French here, my cousin there on the phone, and all my cousins, Quebecers, Canadians, and there's my cousin there getting a bit upset on the phone. Sometimes it happens, You need to let it out, a little bit of that steam, a little bit of more vocabulary out, because emotions, feelings matter as mathematics does. And me, because I have Asperger's, sometimes it's more difficult for me, although, I suffered, cried, still cry sometimes, but I'm no longer depressed and suicidal. But, sometimes it's more difficult for us in terms of the emotional comprehensions, because we're different, we're divergent, and Asperger's is a condition which I live with, It's a neurological mental divergent condition, Asperger's. I'm an Aspie, so I'm part of the 0.44 percentile of the population. 1%, less than 1%, less than half of a percent actually have this neurological mental condition, which is often misconstrued and misinterpreted and misunderstood as being a mental illness, which of course is not a mental illness. It is just that our brains have these mutations, and due to these mutations, of course, those brains at a micro level, of course, not a big bulging mutation outwardly in appearance, outwardly externally visible, but it's on the interior dimensions of the brain at the micro level. So that's what I am, and that's what I gotta live with, and always gotta build bridges, and the characteristics which of course have to be on the mindfulness that's what I am, and that's why we have to be understanding of not to be protruding, as I always have to build and construct bridges with you, the majority of the population, the neurotypicals, which you constitute the 99.56%. So that's always a bridge building on the constant level of bridge building and manifesting, of course, the outward, exterior, superficial characteristics of Asperger's. I don't want to go too intellectual, academic, scholarly about it, but basically to say that, of course, it's the characteristics of Asperger's can seem bizarre, weird, and awkward and strange, So weird, awkward, bizarre, strange, that's what it is with that. That's all we gotta get doing on that for that love. And I got my cousins there. playing a little bit of basketball, encourage you all to work out a little bit, and always get that fitness on the go, and always encourage you all to work out on the go for that, and that's what we gotta get doing on that love, and you gotta get doing some of that exercising for the left, and we gotta get on the love side of things, and encourage you all to work out, and I'm going on a hell of a workout now Monday, 30th of June, did a little bit of cleaning, did my laundry, and I have gratitude that I did my laundry, I have that laundry machine on the washer. Gotta salute my anonymous friend who financed that, and I contribute whatever I contribute, but definitely something which I gotta say I'm blessed to have at home access in my small underground room off Sun Temple where I died right here in NDG, Montreal, Hawk Island a few years ago when I had COVID back in February 2020, and only about a few years ago, 3.5 years ago, I accepted that I have this different aspects were different, and for years and years and years I've been diagnosed by several people, several individuals, and even online, but I never accepted it. I said I don't want to wear the label of Asperger's, also known as high functioning autism, they've been merged, but I still use the Asperger's syndrome as a characteristics of what I am and what I have as an individual citizen who's also an artist, an athlete, philosopher, geopolitical theoretical analyst and theorist, and of course mystic, because I believe in those reincarnations. Was born in the United States 3 times, once as a man, correction, once as a woman, twice as a man, served in the United States Armed Forces, 2 different wars in those 2 times, 156 years apart. The war is war, and right here on this 30th of June, you got enough of my face, you're gonna check my feet, dancing with those toes. Dancing is my favorite sport and fitness activity, and of course it's geopolitics 24/7. Now I gotta meditate, of course, on the new news. I'm gonna have to be reconfirmed later on, but the news, of course, that the digital service tax was retracted by the Canadian government, I guess, in order to make a deal with the Trump and the Trump administration, who retracted from the dialogue, from the conversations of the ongoing trade conversations which we have. And of course, I am an independent geopolitical theoretical analyst and theorist, Quebecer, Canadian, North American. That is my special interest as an ASPE. Aspies, it's not a mental illness again, and we have these special interests, and these special interests preoccupy most of our mental faculties and engagements, and of course in a ritualized routine manner. I'm always involved in one of the 3, whether sports and fitness, dancing being my favorite sport, or doing geopolitical theorizing or analysis, geopolitical theoretical analysis and strategy, because I'm also a strategist, and the rock and roll. So that's my holy trinity as an artist. I rock and roll 24/7 for the butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, firefighters, the plumbers. Today's that Monday. Gotta give a salutation to the workers who are gonna pick up the sanitation, the garbage just like this. Please, Wall Street millionaires, finance them some massage therapy session. I took a bath yesterday, and I would have loved to afford a massage therapy session, but they deserve it. And I think there's a massage parlor there. I never been because I couldn't afford it, but I think you can finance them there to go. I heard the places, which is more on the legit side, but I don't know if that was something which we have to be doing on that.
We're down. Yeah, no.
So basically what it is of course a neurological mental divergent condition, Asperger's that is, and it makes us different. And see, you got some food there. Somebody donated some couscous, so you can take here if you want. I have couscous at home, so until I use it I'm not gonna take, but this is the Sunshine Food Pantry, so you gotta get that Sunshine Food Pantry. And here we're gonna see if we got some donations. See, we got some food here. You got some food, you can take some food, and if you want you can take some more food here, and you got some food if you want, and of course you can serve yourself if you're so inclined, which I'm gonna do now on this pizza. And I'm gonna see if I got some pizza with it, and I'm gonna for that, yeah, some pizza or some other food.